Wow.
Uh,
That sure
that
was
was
something,
something.
huh?
That was definitely GM
that
Barrow's
happened.
writing.
That was
Yep.
so all over the place.
That was
That was
Yep.
definitely GM Barrow's writing.
So, all right, welcome everyone to Little Shot Livestream Reviews. We return for more G5. We just watched the Make Your Mark special. Yeah. So, okay, we gotta focus here. What's the plot here? Because I was actually trying to figure it out. There's a few subplots going on here, right?
So
Yeah,
basically,
basically.
I think what it is happening is that the magic is sort of glitching because there's still ponies out there that can't get along with other races, I guess. So like, and Dip is trying to figure out what's happening with the magic and stuff, and while everyone else is focusing on getting ready for this sort of festival. So it's just sort of all over the place with
It's
Zip
a very
trying to
Zip
figure out
movie.
the magic while also getting
Mm.
ready for this festival in sort of a way, yeah.
Yeah, they more or less hint at the festival. I guess we see a bit of it at the end, is where all the crazy stuff happens. I hope that's not a spoiler for the game that comes out tomorrow. I want to play the game. But
it's a very Zip movie. Can
but
we
yeah,
say that?
no, that's
Mostly,
actually
like, based on Zip's character, basically, instead of the other main 5 characters.
Yeah, I was surprised and pleasantly surprised that Zip is kind of the main character of this special, which I like because Zip seemed like the most interesting one to me. She's obviously a princess, and they kind of do a trope of her being a princess who doesn't really want to be the next princess, which is fine. That's a good subplot. But then on top of that, she's also the more sciencey, investigative one, who's more,
I like how she has more. I mean, I prefer her more than anyone else because she has like, I don't know. I'm more interested in her personal struggles rather than anyone else.
Yeah.
She's like now my favorite now. I could care less about Sunny because she had no personality other than, oh, let's get this working.
So that's funny. I think this special sort of exaggerates a lot of the problems I had with the movie. For example, I didn't really care for Sunny in the movie. I thought she was kind of bland and didn't really have any sort of arc or anything. And here, Sunny, you could cut Sunny out of the whole thing. She doesn't have any purpose.
She is so bland.
Yeah. Also, you could cut out like a lot of like Sunny and like Izzy and possibly like Pip. Like honestly, like those are the 3.
Well,
that
I think Pip's influencer character is kind of fun. I do like Pip as like
I think. I mean, I'm saying like Pip does have some sort of influence a little bit.
I like Hitch, even though. By the way, that code he said in the movie, that 1018, that was completely gibberish. It's not a real code.
Oh, well, they can have their own codes. But so all right. So the problem is, if I'm going through my notes here, I don't know if you guys took notes or not. I have like a lot of negatives, a lot of nitpicks, so I have to kind of like summarize. Like, all right, let's just generally talk about the animation quality and technical details. We won't dive into every single little thing. I just want to point out that you know, like any good show will have like animation errors and little bugs and glitches here and there, but in general, I feel like this special has enough issues where it's actually very distracting. It's actually kind of a big problem.
Yeah, and that's the thing. Like
that's what Fantasia's animation, but not super terrible on that level.
And that's the thing with me for like CG like animation. Like when you go from like a big old 3D like movie CG in like theaters or whatnot to go to like TV show like style, like with a smaller budget, it's definitely gonna look like not like really good. Like there's just so many shots in here that's like obviously like sort of rushed, and there's like some shots that, you know, a lot of like errors in motion blur,
the body language,
and you know, it's not just simple things like the lighting obviously is cheaper, that's fine, and also like you know, like there's some details that we expected a downgrade in, but then okay, I got magic on screen now. The magic looks absolutely horrible. I can't believe the 2D Flash cartoon did magic better than this.
Exactly.
And I'm referring to Friendship is Magic, not Tell Your Tale. But like so many at post processing, you were mentioning how there's like a weird motion blur effect that does not work at all.
Yeah, because I think it's because it like takes a lot of time to like render like a lot of shots with like a lot of light bounces, and you know, adding motion blur on top of that with like actual in-engine rendered. But like a lot of that sort of like takes a lot of time, and you know, they're on time constraints with like sort of these like specials or, you know, episodes. They gotta like get these things out.
Yeah, right.
So definitely like they have to like spend less time on the rendering, and that's why you're seeing some of these results in some of these shots. And it's just like, I don't know, I'm very mixed for me, and it's hard to like go from the movie to like what we're seeing today.
I can deal with it just because it's a lower budget, so it does. I guess the animation doesn't really bother me too much. But yeah, there were some. I feel like if you're not really looking, like it is a little distracting when you find like an animation error, but it only lasts for like a few seconds and then cuts to something else, so it doesn't really bother me too much.
And it also comes back to like who also works on the show as well, like in terms of animators. Shout out to DJ Fed for talking about this on Twitter, but
I hope he breaks it down. Like, I want to see more details. It's fun.
Yeah.
I would
What
derive
I've
more
heard-
enjoyment from this breaking down like the technical side, learning how it was made and all that, than I would the special itself, which is kind of sad. But at the same time, you know, people spent time
Yeah.
on this, so I can appreciate something out of it.
Yeah. And
You
like
know,
in
it's
terms of, like the movie, like definitely like in terms of the staff, like there's like definitely a lot less staff members on like specifically like these specials. Like I know like the movie had at least like over 50 animators, while compared to like apparently this special, according from the credits, had at least like 30
oh,
animators
that's
in
not
total.
good.
And some of the animators like from the movie I know are actually like long time like industry animators, so like they definitely know a lot about what they're animating. Whereas probably like some of these new people that are working on this show, like they probably like don't have many years of experience. So
there were there was something in particular about the animation that felt really off and janky, and it was sort of, well, you and I were discussing in the call, that I realized I think it comes down largely to motion blur. It's either absent or done wrong. And I think that makes all the animation look off, because like I don't know enough about animation to know what it's supposed to look like, other than it just looks wrong at the moment.
Yeah, it's just like a lot of inconsistency throughout the whole
Just the
whole
lighting
special.
annoyed me the most. I can
Yeah,
give a
I-
pass
There's
on
like
animation.
some-
It's
okay.
just a
wasn't a
lot of
fan
the
of the
lighting
I mean,
didn't
again,
work.
like I
well.
said, like you know, it's
They
like
were
a
too
thing where we have
bright.
to talk. Yeah, like we have to think about it. You know, again, we're going to this like TV show, so of course, like some of these stuff is gonna like look off a little bit compared.
But
to
no,
the
that's
movie.
not the problem. The problem isn't a downgrade. My problem, personally, I can only speak personally, of course, is that
I think
the
it's the
shortcomings are
inconsistency.
distracting enough to take away from the experience.
I feel
Yeah.
like they just
Yeah,
threw
but
it
they're
together.
quick. I think they're
to
just
be
very
honest.
quick, so it shouldn't really.
No, every
much
single
animation
shot has some
into
kind
it.
of animation error. It's very
Well,
distracting to me.
Oh
How
yeah,
long
like
do
there's
animation errors last
yeah.
though?
Again,
Yeah.
they threw it together. Hasbro threw it together, so they didn't look at it a second or third time. So they threw it together. So
I'm not gonna say they threw it together. I think that's just being a little.
I mean, there's
harsh.
clearly like at least some people are trying to like their best, like you know, with the time that they're given to like at least to get at
Yeah,
least a looking
limited time,
special
yeah.
out there. But
Yeah.
there's still again when you rush things and try to like get things out on time, there's obviously going to be a lot of like those errors that are still left. In
So
there.
what's funny though is speaking of like the technical stuff of the animation, I actually prefer the cheaper catch lights in their eyeballs. In the movie, it always bothered me how the gleam in their eyes is like it's usually absent and just leaving a dark void.
I kind of noticed that too. Like looking back from this, and especially like remembering back to the movie, they definitely handled that a lot better in the show. At least, like it's always like probably like on the same texture eyeball. Whereas like,
yeah, no, it's cheaper, but I prefer it this way. I like the catch light always being there.
Yeah, that should have been just the thing that should have just been on them always on time.
It was blurry, and it was probably only in that one shot because I didn't really pay attention to their eyes that much. But just without I guess we're talking spoilers, but that one villain, the when it zoomed into her eye.
Oh yeah, we'll get to the villain in a moment. We'll get to the story in a moment because
we can
there's
talk
a
lot about
there's a lot to take out
about the
take from like just the appearances, because this, I guess, should we assume that the show itself will be animated pretty much exactly like this, or is this supposed to be the upgraded version?
I'm assuming. Yeah,
I think
I'm
it'll
not
be
entirely
like
sure
this.
like what it's.
Or maybe it'll be
it's got to
more
be
low-poly.
something at least this close to it.
Well, here's the thing, because fans are like talking about the animation, and some say there might be some people complaining about the animation like we are right now. Chances are they might listen to our feedback, and if they aren't, then that's understandable. But if they are listening, maybe they'll have a chance of trying to improve some things in the animation in the series. But if it's not, if it's exactly like the special, that's okay too. Like it's not terrible. It's not the worst animation I've seen. It just needs a little improvement.
Yeah, I think
subpar.
Yeah, I think Dragonite also points out a good thing in chat too on our live stream here. Yeah, I think in terms of like a lot of 3D animation shows I've seen, like this is definitely like at least a high bar. Like
really?
At least in terms of, like the quality, at least in my opinion.
I don't usually
like,
watch kids shows, but it seems below average to me. But I don't watch enough to really know, I guess.
I mean, it's not like the worst. Like, I mean, again, I've seen like a lot worse 3D animated like shows and all that such. But I mean, I think this is sort of on par. Like, it's like again, like I said, it's pretty decent. But of course, there's obviously going to be that expectation. Like, oh yeah, this is definitely low bar compared to like what we saw.
No, see, that's again, that's kind of where I respectfully disagree. I don't think it's just a minor downgrade from the movie. I think it actually looks bad. Like, it's very distractingly bad, in my opinion. Just the weird motion blur problems, the lighting inconsistency. Some parts are oversaturated, some parts are undersaturated.
Sometimes they look like plastic.
Yeah, right. There's a couple times they look like Play-Doh, which is a Hasbro property. Haha. But
you said throw
I
that
can
in there,
pass
did
on the
you?
animation with it being low budget.
All right, so let's move on from the technical stuff. I think we can all agree that
Writing.
there's
Can we
just
talk about
something
the
weird
writing?
there.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, we can talk
before we
about
jump into the
trash.
writing, I want to talk about the general narrative, the plots here. There was a few things going on. We have Zip's hesitance to go back and be a princess and learn to be a queen and all that. We have the anti-magic plot with namely one Earth Pony rallying the troops to be against magic in general.
Yeah.
Basically Sprout.
And then we have Hitch. Oh,
Stand-
it's actually on screen right now. Then we have Hitch finding the egg, which kind of went nowhere except to introduce a new side character.
Yeah.
Basically.
I have a quick question. In both cases, actually, I didn't explain yet. Zip notices that the magic is failing, and then on top of that, Hitch finds the egg. Why are those two things kept secret? Why does Hitch
I
not?
don't
Why
know.
does Zip not want to tell anyone that the magic is failing?
Well,
Why
I
does
feel
Hitch not want to tell anyone about
That's
the egg?
never really
Here's the thing.
explained.
Here's the thing: if Hitch ever told someone about the egg, chances are they might report it or something, or think, I don't know.
He's a
I just
cop.
well,
Yeah,
he is
he's
a
like
cop, but
he's
he
like
was-
the he's like the sheriff of the town. Like I think like people will just be like, oh yeah, you could take.
I
care
would
of it. You're the
understand.
sheriff,
So,
right?
No,
my-
I would understand keeping
Oh,
it a
you know
secret.
what? You know what? I just realized something. I feel
What?
like it's because he's trying to keep this whole big guy image in other
Oh, is that it?
ponies. So if he shows that he has
Oh,
like
if
a
he-
caring side for
oh.
this egg, then it could.
Is
like,
that conveyed?
Yeah, he's got like.
I think that's
Is
a
that just
stretch.
It's not
speculation?
really,
Like-
yeah, if that's what they were going for, it's not really
I
conveyed
feel like
well.
I feel like it would have made more sense if like if he found the dragon like already on the beach, like already open, like before anyone else, and then it would make a secret, or then it would make sense why he's keeping it a secret. But I don't understand, why did he keep the egg a secret the entire time?
So
That's-
that
never
I
really
asked
explained
about that.
That's the issue.
I asked about that because it was more rhetorical than anything, and I think the answer is that they just needed a TV trope subplot of like, oh, character needs to keep this thing a secret for the sake of interest, you know? Like, where else would you go with that?
They already did that with Zip with hiding the magic, which didn't make.
That's
any
the other
sense
question I
at all.
had is why was she so actually all right, so I do want to point out a positive here. I liked how her character was expanded upon. She's more scientific, taking notes and all that about the failing magic. I thought that was a
Yeah.
cool little touch. Nothing crazy. But then why is she keeping a secret? Like, she specifically acts all nervous when confronted about it and like doesn't want to tell anyone about it
I
until
think
later.
it's because like she assumed her friends wouldn't believe her, and then when she finally has like hardcore proof, they see it. and
Yeah,
they don't
like
believe
the
her
thing
like
she's
that.
getting,
I don't
like,
even know. That was like
effort
their,
given
that
her
was like
evidence.
their, no, that was like
So
their
stupid.
boring breakup moment.
They had a breakup moment?
Like
I
The
consider that
wait,
they're,
wait,
like,
the friends
that was
didn't
their
fight,
was
did
a-
they? Or no, I
no,
guess
it
they did
was a-
later on.
They did
No.
fight, but it was just like stupid.
Wait, was it
Yeah,
Sonny or Zip that initiated the fight? One of them, I forget who
it was
started
Zip.
the fight.
It was Zip.
It
to
was
prove a
Zip.
point.
Like, she was
Literally
trying to,
said that
like-
she didn't like karaoke.
She was
Oh,
getting
that
on
was-
the
Here's the
idea
thing,
that
she
the
was-
glitch thing was
think it was
happening,
here.
and she was trying to get her friends to believe
It was
her.
a
So she's
forced
like because
fight,
of the
okay?
art.
So
Yeah.
it
Wait,
wasn't
so
a
hold on,
no
let me-
fight.
It wasn't real.
I want to
though.
break
It
that down.
was
It was like a forced fight to prove a point, but then it turned into a real fight for no reason. And everything about it just felt so forced and like, why?
Yeah.
Like, so Tootsie wanted
That's
to
GM
talk about the
Barrow's
writing.
writing.
I
Yeah,
know.
who
So the
writes-
writing.
Who wrote this episode? Actually, I'm
GM
kinda curious.
Barrow.
Really?
So why?
He wrote some of the
Yeah.
worst episodes of Friendship is Magic.
Why
Yeah.
though? Like, why is it like that? Is it just like this is what kids want to see? You know, they're catering to the kids. I can understand that if it's a good kids property, right? But like, did Friendship is Magic not appeal to kids? Like, that was written better, even though that had its own silly kiddish charm, right? Like, I don't get it.
Listen.
What I realized from watching the credits is that GM Barrow is the main developer of this new generation.
Oh,
He's
that's-
like the head everything. I saw that from the credits. That developed for television series made by GM Barrow, and it scares me because no disrespect to her, she does great writing, but not in like shows. She does it in literature, which
Oh, right,
does
she writes
really
the books,
well
right?
in her chapter books.
I
Yeah,
have
in her
one of her
chapter
books.
books in the
Pretty good.
Daring Do book series, she does really good. But
Yeah.
I feel like her weakest flaw is transitioning from the books to like this.
Well, yeah,
She-
screenplay is a whole other
she-
ball game.
Yeah. Oh
She
yeah.
did write the G5. She did write. Don't get me wrong. She did write the G5 movie, but she had help with two other writers that kind of kept her a little balanced. This right here was all of her writing. and
Why
I didn't
can't
like
they
of
bring
how
them back for
forced of
this one?
how, Like a lot of it was.
Why can't they bring them back for this one?
It's a whole different studio.
Yeah,
Yeah,
whole different
goodness.
studio, whole different budget. I don't know. I mean,
But
they
she
could
also-
probably could
she-
have the budget to do it, but I don't know.
She
I
had
guess they were
wrote
just
some
like,
of the
yeah,
worst
good enough.
episodes of Friendship is Magic, like the End and Friend. And
Oh no,
also
let's
the
not start
worst-
ranting about that.
I know, but I'm just like giving you an example. But she also wrote. A lot of people think the episode where the students get trapped under the castle is amazing because she also wrote that one. But I don't know. I feel like this right here was a mix of her good writing and her really bad writing.
So okay, let's break down why do you think it's bad writing, Tootsie? Besides the one example I already provided, do you have any?
Well, there was the beginning. It's like, oh, here's some rough exposition of like, oh, thank
Okay,
you
well-
for helping us.
We can go back to the beginning there and explain how they introduced the characters as like a little live stream where Sunny's presenting to camera. I thought, it's simple, but that's not a bad premise for giving out exposition. It's like, here, Sunny, tell us all about what we've done and where we've been and get everyone up to speed. I thought that was okay.
I'm talking about the exposition, or I guess the rushed exposition, like right at the end. It's like,
at the end.
Oh no! Yeah, I'm talking.
It goes
about
off the rails. It goes off the rails at the end for sure.
Yeah,
It did.
basically.
I love the ending though. That was pretty epic.
That's what we're talking about how bad it was.
I thought it was so bad. I was following the special like right up until 3/4 or so, right near the end. I was like, okay, I'm done. You lost me.
I actually really enjoyed the ending, but
what did you enjoy about it?
I liked the funniness that they bring, and I love the excitement and the portal opening up got me really excited. It's like, oh yes.
But it didn't really go anywhere.
And none of it was explained either. Like, so it
wasn't explained.
Like, their magic
actually, it got me really happy that they're trying to solve a problem.
Black Void.
Well, no. Hold on. No, it was Sunny's lantern that lit up, and it kind of solved the thing that was the portion of the magic that was in that lantern.
I didn't understand that at all.
It's all there,
but either.
Well,
I guess okay. I can try to explain it. I think it was Sunny, more or less sacrificing herself to try to save the two ponies that weren't her friends, and that's what restored magic. Because I was trying to figure out what happens at the very end. Obviously, magic is disappearing, and I guess it's because ponies are arguing. It's sort of explained, but not really that well. It's not explained in the same.
Work together.
It's not explained in the same way as the movie itself either. It's like a different kind of magic being stolen, which maybe gets into the villain we see later. We'll get to that in a moment. But Sunny giving up herself to try to save the two friends, which was kind of stupid because she didn't have her wings yet, so she basically just killed herself alongside them. Like, I don't understand why magic came back after this.
Well, the show
was magic and stuff.
Because it's friendship.
Not a happy ending, obviously.
There's like zero logic or care about this story, and that's sad.
It's magic. You don't have to explain anything.
But we need someone. All right, so for the show to work at all for bronies, like older fans, I'm not, kids are fine, but for older fans, for this to work at all, we need like not just one person writing. I'm not going to call out GM Barrow specifically, but we need like a team of writers who actually care about making this make sense.
Like, she needs a balance.
Yeah.
Because maybe
she can't do this on her own.
We can't call her out specifically. We don't know what goes into this. Maybe she's not the only writer involved. Maybe she's under pressure for time. We don't know what happened with her specifically. I'm just saying for the series.
Gotta tweet at her now.
We need a little bit more care, maybe from Hasbro, if not from the writers. Then.
Maybe Hasbro was on her watch the entire time and saying, "You must produce this in this X hours or minutes."
I feel like maybe this was written. This was written like as an outline, and then they never really made the dialogue make sense or the moment-to-moment writing make any sense.
I feel like it could have used a few rewrites. That could have probably saved it.
It feels like it had zero revisions.
Rewrite.
It's like, are you almost done with that script? Yeah, I'm about halfway done. Too bad we already animated it. It's like,
because I don't think. I don't know. I think it's probably because maybe also the fact that they're still like targeting like young audiences.
Yeah, right.
And stuff. Like I know, like we have. The MLP has like a huge adult audience because with G4 and the bronies and all that, but I don't think they went into this new G5 like I don't know, like they didn't put bronies first ahead. Like we're not obviously gonna like we're obviously gonna rant about all these things, but like for a general like young audience, I think it's gonna be like I mean, as long as it makes sense enough for the kids,
Friendship is Magic managed to make like just as little sense. Like season 1, episode 1 of Friendship is Magic makes no sense. Why did that happen? It was never really explained how that works. The elements of harmony are a mess that were never really explained. But the characters were fun and the writing was good, where it was enjoyable to an older audience, and that gave birth to bronies. Is there anything of that sort here that would appeal to older fans like ourselves?
I mean, for me,
honestly, not really.
Not going for that.
Well, there were some parts that kind of got me really excited. Also, Izzy, Pip and Zip really getting me happy and stuff. For someone like me that really likes happy stuff like this and makes me jump up and down on my seat, yeah, I would be appealed to that.
I mean, if it's on in the background and it's just like colors and lights and music, and it's just kind of a surface level entertainment for kids.
No, I think you're being too harsh, a little shy.
Okay, no, feel free to defend it.
Because this isn't really, I don't know. I don't think it's really
We're-
going
we're-
for what.
What is
What
your defense?
were
We're
you
not-
looking for?
We're not reviewing it as like a kid's show. We're reviewing it as like Friendship is Magic being a kid's show, but also appealing to bronies. So that's the thing. If I'm being too harsh
Yeah.
on it, it's because I'm speaking to my own interest in this special. I'm not speaking to like, oh, would I show a kid to this? Yeah, of course I'd show it to a kid. It's a fine
But are you
kid's special.
comparing it to Friendship is Magic though?
What would be the target age though of this? Like
I think Friendship is Magic was 7.
7.
Yeah.
This is like appeal to like 5 or 4 years old.
Well, that's the thing. It's not a matter of age appeal. It's a matter of quality. Like Friendship is Magic had the quality to appeal to all audiences, and this is like just
Yeah.
7-year-olds in my opinion.
It's
I
probably
just
just
don't think
because
we
of the
should be
people who
comparing
are
it to
behind
Friendship
making
Magic
this.
at
Like, I
all.
don't think yeah, I don't know. It's like all over the place on this.
I mean, the
special.
G5 movie kind of sold it for me, but I feel like for this one, it kind of was just like, I mean, scaled back because of the budget or something.
I think you know what the thing is? I think the people who made the movie knew the fandom and they knew the show, like they knew
Yes.
G4. But
Yes.
this one, it feels like it's made by the people at Hasbro who don't care.
Corporate-
Like who
Cor-
like,
the
okay,
corporate
get
donors
no,
at
no, no, here's the
Hasbro.
thing. They do get these characters from G5, have them in a lower quality animation and all that stuff. But like I feel like the movie was like a love letter to people who loved G4, and this is just
Oh,
for
yeah.
more newcomers who are still,
But
I don't know.
Friendship is
children,
Magic's
but
first
also-
episode was so much better though, and that one was also a mess. But
Yeah,
I
but
don't
that's
know.
the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah,
You
but
should
yeah,
not be
but then
comparing this
again,
to
it's
Friendship is Magic.
well, why
it's
not?
not-
That's why we're
it's
here.
not G4.
Because this is a new generation. I don't think
I
we
mean,
should really compare this to Friendship
I'm
is
not
Magic at
comparing
all.
it to the world of Friendship is Magic, even though technically it's supposed to be. I'm comparing it to like the quality of writing, like like what's here for an adult to latch onto
don't-
it. I'm saying not
Listen,
much.
Listen,
Nah,
at the
not
end
really.
of the
Writing-
day, at the end of the day, as you said, they might hear us, they might make some adjustments and improvement because My Little Pony Friendship is Magic kind of expanded to the fandom stuff, and with G5, they might listen, they might fix it. I'm very I don't know.
I've got
I'm just kind
feel
of curious why they
optimistic.
didn't do that in the first place.
I've got a
though.
sort of a conspiracy theory here. It's that Hasbro
Oh,
never
jeez.
Hasbro never
Oh,
wanted
boy.
bronies. They want their little market of kids to sell toys to. They don't want internet drama and all this adult stuff. They just want kids to buy their toys. So maybe it's possible they're dumbing it down just for the kids. Maybe they don't want us bronies to watch this. It goes without saying that this isn't
But
made for us, but maybe it's specifically made not to be
But
for
listen,
us.
they failed to realize this is a worldwide thing. They're bringing in money because of us. I mean,
Guys,
I don't know.
I think this is definitely a really big conspiracy theory.
You,
type
you know,
I don't
what?
think it is. I think it's
I've
perfectly
heard
reasonable for
stranger
Hasbro to
things
want-
than that, to be honest.
I think it's perfectly reasonable for Hasbro to just want to focus on kids and not, go the extra mile to appeal to adults who actually give the plot some thought.
but they failed to
I
understand.
really don't-
We're go ahead.
No, I kind of disagree with you on that.
With me?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Well,
How so?
Well, I really just thought My Little Pony was just like probably gonna hate me for this, but I always thought My Little Pony was always just a kid's show.
It
Yeah,
is.
it has different writing, but I don't
It
think
is.
it's still fair to compare this to it because we don't have a series yet. We don't have any episodes to really.
Tootsie,
like,
I've
you
only
go off
compared it
that.
to the
We all-
premiere. This is our premiere. This is G5's
Yeah.
premiere. So,
equivalent to G4's premiere.
yeah.
So
I just
maybe-
don't think we should be comparing it like that.
In what
I
way?
honestly can't really give a good thought until after we get a few episodes of the actual series.
Oh, you're in the denial
will
phase of
admit-
grief.
No, I
He's
will
going for a
admit that
stage,
this.
people.
I will
Going
admit
for the
this
kill.
was no, I will admit this was a step back from the Generation 5 movie.
Well, yeah, broadly speaking, of
Yeah,
course. Like,
obviously,
we
yeah.
expected that. But it's so much more than that. I feel like the Generation 5 movie, the script for me was just like clinging on to like being okay. And actually, it went beyond okay. It was pretty good at most points. Here, I don't think there was anything here that I liked, and there was like a long list of things that were like, oh, really? We're doing this? So,
Yeah, it did have its dumb moments, but I don't think it was just downright
Na-
terrible. Like,
Okay, I got a question. Can anyone name one fun moment from this special?
I liked
Um,
him.
Honestly,
I
I
liked
liked
her-
Maybe the
every. I
FaceTime
liked
call.
every. I liked
Zip, I liked her
every-
character. I liked her character. Like,
Which one
progression
did you
through it.
like?
I'm sorry, Tootsie cut me off. He was going to say something.
I think you
Go
mentioned Zip.
down-
So yeah, Zip was
Yeah,
kind
I
of the main
just-
character
sorry.
here.
Yeah, I like how this was more of a Zip movie rather than anyone else, which is also a downfall because we don't really do much of a. They don't really do much with the other characters.
Right.
like-
The movie had that
I
problem
like-
too.
I'll
I think
be
in terms
honest.
of overall the episode, like honestly, like there's not like that many memorable moments like that makes me like, oh
That's
yeah,
what
that
I
was
was
a good
hinting
moment
at.
to look back
I mean-
onto.
I
Yeah,
mean, the
there's like nothing I couldn't like get any of that from the special really.
I mean, the fun part of this special was like Izzy, having fun with, Zip and Pip and making treats and stuff. That was
So you like
really
the character
fun.
interactions.
The character interactions were so much fun, and
What?
and no, hold on. The
Oh.
character interactions were fun, and I couldn't stop smiling.
That's
because
why
of
I
Izzy.
like Friendship is Magic, and I thought that was completely absent here.
Oh man.
I don't know. I think you were just holding Friendship is Magic to such a high regard. You're blinded by like this new generation. That
What do
nothing
you-
can-
what do you mean by
But it
nothing
makes
that?
compared
me
to it.
happy. I love this.
No, I think he's talking to me, drummer, because I'm the one criticizing it.
Oh, I thought you were criticizing me. Wait,
so
wait
no,
a minute.
Tootsie, are you
Criticizing
saying
those
I
guys.
shouldn't expect this to be as good as Friendship is Magic? Is that what you're saying?
Exactly.
Oh, well, why not?
Because this is like a whole new thing. You can't really compare this. It's like comparing Generation 4 to Generation 3.
Well, that's a comparison we can make all day long. That's kind of what made Friendship is Magic so good.
I don't know.
I'm not sure what you mean. I understand if you think I'm being harsh, that's fine. Call me out on it. Rebuke anything I might be saying unfairly. But I don't think it's unfair to compare this to the previous generation, especially if they want to try to set it in the same universe as the previous generation. Then that they should be held to higher standards.
But there's nothing here that really sets it in the same universe other than like the few Equestria.
The movie.
That's it.
Yeah, the movie basically.
They just call it Equestria, and like there's a few hints to it, but according to some behind the scenes from the movie, it's like they wanted it to also set it in not just Equestria,
that's
but
not the-
also throw more callbacks to the old generations too.
That's not what I'm hung up on. I'm not hung up on the fact that they tried to force in the previous generation into this, which they didn't do in this special, and I commend them for that. They didn't say, "Oh, Star Swirl the Bearded said this would happen." Like they didn't do all that, and that's a good thing.
But I will agree with you. This special definitely did not show the good side of this series or this generation.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Is it fair to say they're just going for kids now? Like, or no, it's not fair to say that because
No.
Friendship is Magic was always for kids. So it's really just more of a quality and different tone, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think it all just has to do with the writing.
Yeah, same.
The writing is what really kills it, but I also can't be too mean on her, but I can because this is definitely not her best work.
This is making all those season 9 episodes I complain about look good. We got to go back and revisit them.
One thing I did find, what I did find really interesting.
Hold on,
is
can I? Speaking of season 9, though, who is worse, the yellow pony whose name I forgot, or Naysay?
Oh, that's a good point, though.
Oh, I could probably-
They're both
That's a
Naysay.
good question.
I think Naysay fit into the plot better, so that makes him more interesting and better.
No, he was just
This
a racist
character came out of nowhere and has no
No.
motivation at all. I guess he didn't either, but
No, here's the thing. Naysay is unbearable. This pony I can actually watch and not get angry at. With Naysay, I just want to kill him every second.
all right. I guess that
Well,
goes
kill
for
him
both of them
now.
for me. I guess.
Kill him now when you have the chance.
What? All right. Well, all right. Are there any last minute things before we jump into individual ratings?
Yes.
Because there's a lot to go over, and I think we've sort of tried to go over a lot of
We
the
didn't
issues.
talk
I don't know.
Oh,
If
wait,
we,
I have one thing I want to say.
Oh boy, what is it?
What?
It's interesting. I thought this was like an odd direction. I made a tweet about this. It's weird that they made Tell Your Tale canon,
why is that weird?
They did.
the YouTube series.
Yeah, I always expected
Because
that to be
right-
somewhat canon.
I didn't. I just thought that was odd. It's just like that's such an odd choice.
I didn't think it was canon.
I mean, I guess
thought,
this
I
could
thought
be
the
a-
YouTube stuff was always separate from everything else.
Yeah.
That's what I thought too. But that's
Mm.
like the YouTube series was explained how they got that lighthouse, like how they got that new lighthouse, and also how Pip got her own like little.
Well, let's
one
not
of her
talk
own,
about the
like,
YouTube
swan.
series. We can review that at a later time if we want.
Because
So
this
also-
was.
Here's
'Cause
one
the
thing
news
that we
episode
could.
takes place right after this movie. That's the weird part.
So can we summarize? Let's summarize some of the things we talked about. Let's summarize the animation quality. Some expected downgrades, but in my opinion, and maybe you guys would agree or disagree, I think there were some added downgrades that we didn't expect that kind of detract from it, unfortunately.
Mm. Yeah.
And then the story itself, it has a few subplots which I like. It has a few things going on with the zip and the anti-magic stuff, and it's good that
But
they're
then some of
juggling
them
more
never
than one thing.
concluded.
It's not like Rainbow Road Trip, which didn't really have anything going on. It actually has multiple subplots ongoing.
At least that one
Yeah.
had better art style.
This one? What?
He's talking
Rainbow
about
Road Trip
Rainbow
had a
Road
better
Trip.
art.
Oh, right,
style.
yeah. Rainbow Road Trip looks so much better than this. But,
That's because it's 2D. And he's always
Yeah.
the king.
what?
Yeah.
2D always looks amazing.
Okay, oh, now we gotta talk about Tell Your Tale. No, okay, let's not talk about Tell Your Tale. I just mentioned that because Tell Your Tale looks horrible, I think, in my opinion. And they, like, ruined
I don't
2D
think
for
it's
me.
that.
Not really. I kind
don't
of
think
like
it's so
the
terrible.
art style of that.
Yeah,
better
compared
than
to, like-
this, to
Alright,
be
let's not get
honest.
to a
Yeah.
fight. Let's stay on topic. Let's get to our
We could
reviews.
talk about that for an hour. But no, there is one more
Yeah.
thing. I do want to. So the general story is sort of. Is it fair to say messy?
Blah.
Like, there's a few things going on that don't really
Yeah.
tie together in any way.
It's
Yeah,
It's-
made me
it's
want
all
to throw
over
up.
the place.
It's yeah.
So the animation's kind of weird and messy. The story's kind of weird and messy. The writing itself, like the individual words, like what was that one line from Hitch? Everyone be nice, sheriff's orders. Like, it's so
Yeah.
it's like
Guys.
written by the target demographic.
Guys, good vibes. We need good vibes.
Well, that's funny. No,
Yes,
that was funny.
Good vibes.
Yeah, I like
Hearing,
that one.
hearing
That one was
Pony
good.
say vibing is so weird to me.
That's kind of why I like Pip. Is I don't like the technology stuff. I prefer Friendship is Magic to all this new technology. But with all that in mind, I do like Pip as being like a joke. Like, she's the social media influencer. I think it's a funny joke is how they push that, and she's kind of bland as a character, but that makes it part of the joke in a way.
Yes.
I don't know. It's weird.
I guess one thing I kind of note is like kind of getting used to the new voices. Like, there's a couple characters like Zip, and Pip, and Sunny. Like, I kind of like them, but
Oh,
only
that's a
the
whole
lesser
other-
one is it. Yeah, Izzy is by far not my favorite new voice that they got for her. It's hard to like go from Kikimora. I
Okay,
think that's the
I
original.
want to
We can go
summarize
into
to
our
say that
reviews.
I'm not a big fan of the main 5 voices. Like, they don't sound horrible, but they don't sound that great to me either. But those background ponies, oh my gosh!
Yes. Those
I have
kids,
never,
those
I
little
have
pony
never
kids.
had more confidence in my life knowing like I'm a better actor than these people paid to act. Like, wow, did they bring in their children for
Sheriff,
this
what-
voice acting
Yeah.
or something?
Sheriff, what do
Probably.
we do?
Yeah, they.
Okay, so to be fair, maybe it was like 2 people to voice 10 characters and they were doing their best. I want to be fair. Like, maybe they didn't have enough time. Who knows what happened? I did notice one problem very early on. I forget what line it was, but some line was delivered like in a vacuum where it didn't match the scene at all. I'm like, oh, well, obviously the voice director wasn't paying attention. That line doesn't belong there. So there's like a lot at play here. Like, the direction of the voice acting may have influenced the voice acting not being great at all times. So like, there's a lot going on behind the scenes, I'm sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're already 30.
Is this a whole
we're
mystery
31
of like
minutes
this
over.
whole like just
Yeah,
development of
we
this
need
film?
We're
we
already
need
going
to-
over time, but we haven't even talked about the villain.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
No,
okay.
it
Big
wasn't
fan.
even a-
Alright,
that
hold
wasn't
on.
even a villain.
Okay, hold on one second.
Well,
I
it's
gotta-
I gotta make
foreshadowing a
I
villain.
gotta make a criticism though.
It
the
looks horrible.
the villain's color scheme is just something out of Roblox. It is horrible.
Purple and
Yeah, we gotta go.
what
It's
was
like
what,
purple
does she
and
have green
green.
hair?
It was like
Yeah. I'm
not
blue
gonna
and
criticize the
purple. It
design
was
because-
so
Yeah, we already
bad.
went over the designs and the technical
She only
stuff.
showed up for
but-
like 5 seconds. Who
But
cares?
the
What's that
idea
weird-
the idea of introducing the villain at that point in the story where it was already so messy and muddled, and then all of a sudden, boom, here's this villain that has nothing to do with anything. It's so
Yeah,
out of
that-
nowhere.
That
It was
that
like a
one-
red, what is it?
that
What do you
one
call
sh-
that? A red herring?
That one
No.
picture you like had freeze on, like the freaking lighting, like the lips, like it's like it has like this.
No, we
faint
can't talk about the
glow
lighting
on-
anymore. We went over that at great length.
Look
Yeah,
at that
but like
quality.
it's like it's specifically this shot like you're sharing right now on stream. Like, good lord, that looks horrible.
It does. It's like
It looks
it's
like an edgy
unappealing.
OC.
Yeah,
And
My
yeah, as
OC
Jessica said, she
I
looks like
guess-
an edgy OC. The color design, nothing about this looks nice.
No, guys, it's my
Ugh.
Philly Fantasia
man.
villain. That somehow made
Okay,
it into the
do you wanna
actual
talk about
show.
Philly
Oh
Fantasia?
my god!
I want to
The
Revisit
writing
Philly
is
Fantasia.
better in Philly Fantasia.
I want to revisit Philly Fantasia. I think that had more like, of a better design for a 3D cartoon. Maybe not better animation, but I prefer like the character design in that show, and I think that show had more of a cartoony
Yeah.
look to it. I genuinely want
Yeah.
to revisit Philly Fantasia because it might be better than G5.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's going to be great. Doesn't mean it'll appeal to adults, but it might be better.
No, we gotta move over to Philly Fantasia, guys. G5's
Oh,
not for us.
so we're gonna review Philly Fantasia soon.
Maybe.
Yes, welcome to the Philly Fun fandom.
I'm
I was trying to
genuinely
compare.
considering comparing it to G5 at this point because, oh man, we could have never have predicted this.
know.
But anyway, I guess everyone forgot that there was a song in this episode.
I
Oh,
It only lasted
right.
like 30 seconds. I don't even consider it a song.
We'll be
that was
honest.
so bad.
Though,
It
we're
only
so
lasted
used.
30 seconds.
We're so used to Daniel Ingram that we just forgot what song
We were
G5
spoiled.
had.
To be fair, he got a few songs in Friendship is Magic that we all forgot too.
That's fair. But
That's fair.
But everything we know from G5 so far, and again, we could see more. That's a lot better. But everything we know from G5 is it's very pop music with no heart or creativity to it. It's just sort of catchy music for the
I
sake
wouldn't
of
say
catchy
that.
music.
Some of the lyrics are pretty good.
Is it? Rhyming tragic with magic?
I mean, Friendship is Magic did that too.
Yeah,
The song
I'm sure it
was
did.
like 45 seconds. It was like so short. We never even got a full song, and I'm like, I'm disappointed.
I would love. All right, I'm not qualified to talk about the music myself. I would love to hear someone who actually like makes catchy pop music songs. Like I'm sure there was a lot to tear into there, but whatever.
Okay, first
They're
of
like
all,
one of those bronies that knows a lot about G4 music and compared to like what we have here. From
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
Maybe drummer
something
show.
from Okay, well, no, okay, listen. I wish they'd done more with that song. It was like 45 seconds. It was like a verse, chorus. That's it. I mean, that's kind of typical for a
Every
kid
pony
show.
gather round, turn that frown upside down.
Is that what the
you're
song
not
was?
a musician.
I don't
You have
remember.
no
It was
obligation.
just like, that was just
No,
my dumb
but,
impersonation of it.
Okay, let me just use my knowledge and thinking. So it was only 45 seconds. I'm pretty sure they are making music for the next part. But again, 45 seconds was just not enough. I'll be honest though, the song was your typical poppy song.
Right. Well, my criticism is that it's like you can't criticize a pop song because of course it's catchy. Of course people will like it because it's a pop song.
Yeah.
Like there's nothing unique about it, is there? Or feel free to disagree.
Well, I mean, look, it's there. It's a song. I mean,
it's
It's
just
a song.
it's an obligatory song. Yeah, that's my whole criticism. It's just obligatory and it's only there because they
It's
needed a
just
song.
a song, people. Yeah, it's good.
All right. So anything else we missed before we jump into individual reviews?
Why did they act so calm during that giant storm?
I don't know.
Yeah, like
They were just standing there. The wind was blowing them, and
like
just
nobody
not
was
knowing
going
what
inside. Yeah, everybody was just standing outside waiting
Wait.
for that big moment when Zip's supposed to come on stage, but nobody was like, the
Wait,
storm's coming.
yeah.
I better should go inside.
Also,
But
I
nah,
just
I think I'm gonna
realized
stay.
that-
out
Well,
here.
no, that's because the
Oklahoma.
performance was starting, so the show had to go on. They don't talk about that, but that's we can
Yeah,
speculate.
It's like
Oklahoma.
it's like the equipment of the crystalline where everybody's staying outside from the winter. It's like I must
Oh
be
my
here for the main
God.
event.
They're a bunch of Oklahomans. They don't take action unless something touches the ground.
All right, well, let's jump into individual ratings and reviews because again we're going over time, and I know it's totally my own fault. Let's start at the
Way
list.
over time.
We'll start at the top and go down. We'll each have about 2 minutes or so to share our thoughts and then our rating. So, Brandon Rudolph, what'd you think?
I knew this was gonna be not as good, but I don't know what it was. But I just like the movie a whole lot more. Something about this special just made me not want to like it like I normally like all the other stuff. Probably give it 5 out of 10. It's just I don't know what it is.
All right.
I just don't like it.
Okay, Drummer Shy.
all right, 2 minutes begins. Okay, so it picks off where it left off. Fun and cute. There's that one Karen pony. Yeah. Zip. I love Zip and Pip. They were really cool. The animation could be rendered better. The eyelashes too extreme. Body language was off. Hitch was pretty cool. So much craziness. Pony. The one little pony with the crazy face that was yeah, that kind of sold it for me right there. The ending again was exciting, but I'll be honest though, there were some parts that were just bleh. So honestly, it was a first part. It was good. I mean, I hope they fix these errors in the next one or potentially one in the future. But I'll be honest though, I would give this special a like 7.5.
Wow. What? That's pretty high.
Why do we do
Yeah,
7.5?
7.5. It
Okay.
kept me smiling. The characters were awesome. It's just
Great.
they need to fix the story and there's some stuff. But I'm giving it a fair 7.5. So
Oh,
Izzy's best pony.
Yeah. All right. We need some positivity in this depressing call. Jessica, what do you think of the special?
I'm gonna spread some positivity too, because I enjoyed the special too. Yes,
Oh,
the animation isn't good, but I don't care, because I've seen worse. I really do like the new voice actors for the main five. They do kind of replicate the ones from the movie, not entirely, but I can tolerate it, at least until the series comes. And after what I've seen from the YouTube series, I actually would prefer watching the special. Um, and yeah, I actually do like this special a lot, and I really like how it uh builds up to what's going to happen in the series. So yeah, I'm really excited for that. Um, yeah, I genuinely enjoyed it. I probably give it probably a 7 out of 10 for me.
wow, cool.
Ooh, okay.
All right, well, I'm next on the list, but I'm going to wrap things up at the end, so we're going to jump down to Sonic Crew. What'd you think?
Well, I
Positive
yeah,
vibes,
like
man.
no, I have no positive vibes for this, unfortunately. I'm sorry, but like again, like as like an animation guy, like I've done like a lot of projects here and there, and I like know about like certain things with comparing like different qualities and budgets of different animation budgets. But compared to this one, um, again, like I think we talked about, it's like on the average scale in terms of like 3D animation. Like it's hard for me to watch like a big CG movie from like in the theaters, like Pixar level like quality that they had, especially with the G5 movie, and just hankering it down to like this low budget like animation. It's just very hard for me. And like for some reason, like it might be, y'all might hate me for saying this, but I actually do prefer the 2D tell your tale animation compared to this. Like I don't know, like
Fair enough.
it's not like the it's not the greatest 2D animation, but it's like it feels like it's more cartoony. It's has like a better art style compared to like this like low budget like 3D animation. Like I don't know. It's like it's just all over the place, and especially in terms of the writing as well. Like basically, as we like talked about, it's like a very sip center episode where basically a lot of the characters are like these could be just like left out completely and like not have done much at all. Um, and there's like a lot of questions. Like definitely, hopefully you'll be answered. Like the dark void, like or like the storm clouds that's coming up like these dark voids. Like what's the purpose of this? Like what is it? Is it like a in this essential void of just like non-friendship where they've fallen down forever? Like I don't know, like what about the Wendigos, all those kind of questions and all that such. um Again, like other minor issues, like some of the character voices, like Izzy is not my top favorite. I don't know, like it could have been improved with like probably a different voice actor, or maybe it's just the voice direction. Maybe they could have done something better with her. But overall, for the special, again, it's a rough start for what the series is going to go into. So I'm going to give this a 5 out of 10.
Ooh, 5 is still pretty. Five's not
Oh,
bad either, but okay. All right.
holy moly.
Technobite, what did you think?
I wanted to like it, but there's just too many things wrong. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna have to agree with the Sonic Crew. I think I actually like the Tell Your Tale like animation and style better than this. This was too hard to watch. I might give it a 5.5. It just needed some more time, in my opinion.
Yeah, okay. These are higher ratings than I expected, to be honest. All right, jumping
Wow.
down to Tootsie. What'd you think?
Tootsie's Rants.
Oh,
Well, I
boy, here
wouldn't
we
really
go.
say it was a rant, but the story was bland. The writing could have used a rewrite. The pacing was mixed from scene to scene, as it felt way too fast, and while others needed more time. The characters themselves didn't get much development compared to Zip, as most of the movie was just all about Zip. They could have just called this Zip the movie. But I also want the same amount from the other characters too, because why even have the characters if they're not going to do anything? Sure, they had their own little like side project of like what to do at this festival, but the big focus was mostly on Zip. I liked some of the storylines, but they didn't really like. It was kind of annoying of how Hitch found an egg. Protect the egg. Why are you protecting the egg? Why are you keeping the secret? Don't understand. Oh, it hatches at the end. Oh, sweet. It has nothing to do with the plot. That's cool. Um, I don't know. It just the climax was a. I'm sorry. That was a joke. I thought that was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Like compared to the G5 movie, this is just horrible. But I can also, I mean, animation-wise, I thought the animation was good for it being, other than the lighting that just really off-put me. But I can't really, like hit it or hate it too much for that. I thought it was just okay. But in terms of what I think of it overall, I don't know. It's probably going to be maybe a 6 out of 10.
6.
I don't like
dang.
the like the writing. The writing is what really killed it for me. I'm sorry.
That's still kind of high.
If it had just had more rewrites, or at least someone else to help out Gian Barrow just a little bit more, it would have been fine. But the writing is just what killed it for me. I could deal with the new voice actor just because I've been watching a lot of Tell Your Tale. But yeah, that's 6 out of 10 for me. Sorry.
All right. No, don't apologize. That's above the middle. So I guess I'm the one who's going to be doing a rant then. I didn't care for this special at all. So like Techno mentioned, like I also really went into this wanting to like it. I didn't come into this thing, oh, it's going to be 3D, it's going to be 3G5, oh, G4 is better. I didn't come into it with that attitude, actually. I came into it expecting something along the lines of the movie. I knew there was going to be animation downgrade, but that animation downgrade was, I think it went beyond downgrade. I think it went right into like unfinished territory. It really feels like there's so much here that's just unfinished. I'll leave it at that. And it's not just the animation. I feel like I spent a lot of time ranting about that sort of in the beginning because we were short in time, as I am right now. It's really the writing that hurts me the most because the animation could have been horrible. The animation could have been stick figures and like at 1 frame per second. It could have been whatever. It's the writing that really matters to me, and the character building and the world building especially. There wasn't really any world building here except just adding more confusion to the already huge pile of confusion from the movie. We don't really have any better understanding of how the magic works, and I at this point I'm convinced they're never going to try to explain how it works. It's just going to be, oh, whatever goes. There are no rules in this universe. They can do whatever they want, and Friendship is Magic could do whatever they want with magic, but they had more structure to it. They had more rules to it. It's just better structured in general. There's no substance in this special at all, and it's really disheartening to me because, like I said, I wanted to like it. I want to enjoy the series, but at this point I'm starting to be convinced that this series is not going to have any substance either. The writing is just going to be for kids, and there's nothing wrong with that. The only problem is I'm not a kid. I need something with a little more substance to it than this. I'm actually wondering at this point if Equestria Girls is if I'm going to go back to Equestria Girls because of how bad it is. Because I know.
No, you're being way too harsh.
I never finished Equestria Girls, so if I want more pony, I got to go back to that. But anyway, so the actors also weren't terrible, but I feel like the actors were chosen to match the movie actors rather than just chosen based on their own acting merits. Like again, I don't hate the actors. I just felt like they kind of felt a little off compared to that amazing talent from Friendship is Magic. And again, like some of the background ponies were like actually bad. That was like very distractingly bad. Same with the animation and same with the writing. Everything about it was just distractingly bad. There was no substance to get into. So in terms of my own personal enjoyment, again, this rating doesn't compare to like any other property. It's just my own enjoyment. It's like, I guess I gotta give it like a 2 out of 10 because should I keep going to explain why that's so low, or can we just leave it at that?
You can explain.
I'm out of time.
I'd say that.
I guess it's fair.
Explain.
The reason
I thought my rating was like a little bit low.
I know.
Like, I mean, like I didn't 100%.
The reason my rating is so low is because I want to enjoy this series. I don't want to hate on G5, right? But this special has given me no hope for this series. In fact, it's confirmed a lot of my worst fears for the series. So that's why it's so low.
I don't. I think you're being way too harsh.
Congratulations, Ab, bro.
And I feel like I should clarify these are first impression ratings and reviews, so maybe I'll completely come around and love it in a year from now. Who knows, right? Anyway, it's time to tally our average.
Being way too harsh. I think.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Our average rating for the Little Shy Livestream reviews is a 5 out of 10. Actually, I heard that. Nice drum roll.
I wonder why is that.
All right. Well, that's interesting. Maybe I'm just the party pooper. Hey, I'll love to be proven wrong if things improve over time. Maybe some of these. Again, I'm sorry for going over time. I don't want to hog the whole call like I've been, but it's not just the little nitpicks. It's how everything comes together, and there's no substance here. That's the best way I can summarize it. But anyway, sorry to end on a downer, but thank you everyone for watching the live stream. Should we continue reviewing the series as it goes on? Obviously,
Sure.
I could still.
I don't mind.
I could still go either way because I didn't really enjoy this, but I do want to see where it's going to go from here. Like, is it going to improve? Is it obviously the series is going to be produced differently. It'll probably have more writers, more variety, more time devoted. Well, maybe
that's like the thing. Like, it's probably like going to be like become like back like with G4, like didn't expect the bronies to be involvement, but I think like the bronies kind of like helped a lot of sort of some of the criticisms that they were doing in some of like the newer seasons. So maybe this will be the same case where like compared to this episode with all the criticisms they're receiving from us, maybe they might improve. We don't know. We'll see.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
All right. So, well, it's kind of up in the air at the moment. We'll talk
Yeah,
amongst
harken back.
ourselves to the chat, wondering. I don't know if we're going to do the series or not, but maybe we'll see. Maybe we'll do Philly Fantasia, right?
No,
All right.
we gotta go with we gotta go with Equestria Girls now.
Actually, no, we genuinely.
a Philly Fantasia thing.
I might have to
How are we
revisit.
going-
Anyway, all right. Thank you everyone for stopping by. That'll conclude our review. Check out some of our other reviews if you want to hear more, and we also did the movie, so check that out. But yeah, thanks for watching, and hopefully we'll see you next time if there is a next time. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.